What's up, everyone? Ooh, that was loud. But anyways, what up, everyone? Welcome to Knowledge and Relationships Live Talk here on YouTube, Twitch, and also on Instagram as well too. I'm your host M3, and we have a long-awaited guest. And man, oh man, I'm excited because I cannot wait to have this live talk with this beautiful person. But without further ado, let me go ahead and bring her to the stage. I welcome you guys, Miss Understood. How you doing, sis?
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah. And then we got Mr. Best in the World, 84. Salute to you, my brother.
What's going on, y'all? What's good? Hey, we are live with my sister Misunderstood. Know what I mean? With M3. I'm a little tired, y'all, but I'm good. I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna push through. Been a long week. Know what I mean? But I'm gonna push through. The holidays are coming, everybody. You know what I mean? You know how we do. So let's get it going. Know what I mean? Welcome, Misunderstood. What's going on, M3? Let's get it.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, before we begin, I just want to make sure the sound quality is good. It's not loud like with the background music. Is it cool, Mr. Best?
Yeah, you good.
Okay, cool. Well, Misunderstood, first and foremost, thank you. One, for always supporting like our channel. Even when we was like, much smaller, even before we was monetized, you've always supported us. You always like shout our live streams out. And your channel is just continuing to grow like each and every day. And your content is actually bringing more value than ever before. And
Thank you.
It's a great honor to even have you grace us with your presence for tonight's live stream. So
anytime,
again,
you know that. Anytime.
It.
Thank you for having me. Let me go on mute real quick just because.
Okay. So while she's
on
on mute.
Have to go on mute. I just turned my camera off for a second.
Okay, no problem. Well, while she has her camera off for a second, right? I'm gonna give a shout out to King ABC07. Shout outs to you. Thank you for tuning in. We also have another person that's in as well too. I can't find the person's name, but that person was in there. I don't know why StreamYard is not showing it, but it was Terry Demo.
Hey, Terry.
So that person was also here too. If I could find it, I would definitely highlight you. But salute my brother or sister. Anyways, okay, friend. Sister. Oh, thank you. Salute. All right, salute Terry. All right, so let's go ahead. We're gonna get started. Okay. So our first question, right? And it's pretty simple, but Misunderstood. If you can you please tell the viewers of knowledge relationships or the people who are now meeting you for the first time, can you tell us about yourself?
Hey, you guys. So I Misunderstood. Thank you for having me over. I have a sobriety channel where we pretty much talk about everything over there, but I share just different stuff. We touch on subjects, could be mental health, whatever. And then I host live streams where we just chat with people in the sector. So, we kind of cover everything over there.
All right, that's what's up, and we're gonna definitely get some time to dab more into it, because it's definitely important for people who is going through their own personal sobriety journey, someone that actually needs to watch someone else that's going through their things, sharing about the life and conquering the challenges that they face. And so what inspired you to pretty much become a social media influencer, based on your sobriety journey?
Well, at first I started with SEO type stuff. Are you familiar with that? Search engine optimization. And I was a panelist on different panels, and people would share stories, very personal stories, really intimate. But it wasn't really a safe place to speak. And so when I became the subject and I was brought up on different platforms, I'm like, you know what? I'd rather tell my own story on my platform and provide a space where other people can do the same thing.
Okay. And then I know you said like it was like, you know, pray was it wasn't like much of a safe space. So what gave you the courage to really like join these type of like, you know, panels like to speak your mind, you know?
Well, when I say safe place, I'm talking
Mhm,
about like um you know, because it's the internet, you have to be
mhm,
careful. You have to protect your privacy and your identity, stuff like that. But it's one thing to tell your story, and then later you find that content creator resharing that story or wanting to revisit because they think they need to bring something else up and starting
mhm.
to weaponize your story against you. I just
I
see that as like something common. So I wanted to create a space where that's never going to happen over there. You come on my platform, we speak, whether it's heated or calm, usually calm, hopefully. And
Mhm.
that's it. That's the end of it.
Okay, I get you. Basically, like that, and you know what? That actually answers like one of our questions because what I'm hearing is that you being like unique in your own right to pretty much create that space for people to share about the stories without feeling judged, without being like using their own words to being weaponized against them, and it's kind of like a safe haven. So like, you know, and I respect that. You know, I mean, me firsthand, like, you know, when I you know, join the in like, you know, some of like your live streams, I know for you, like, you know, as a host, you've always made sure that you made your guests feel safe. You know what I mean? uh you know, and I always felt safe going to like, you know, like your platform. A lot of times, um you know, smaller content creators can be a little bit timid when they go into like these like big platforms because of course you're gonna have the chat that's gonna be roasting, you know, if you're really fixated on that. Or sometimes like the host will not allow like a safe space and just like anything goes. But you always like, you know, made sure that your guests feel comfortable and no one was ever judged to speak on their own truth. So I appreciate that.
Not a problem. And even though we have all sectors that come over there, but over in the sobriety sector, we really are a friendly group. We are not biased. And whatever happens on the outside of the sector, whether it's like, you know, beef sector or the black sector, whatever, we don't judge. So we do try to make everyone feel comfortable, welcome. They can come in, you know, they tell a story, drop their channel, let people get to know you, you know. Yeah, we try our best.
Now that's what's up. I appreciate that. Um now, all right, my question is that like okay, um did you ever like you know face like you know any other challenges like you know in the develop of like your content?
I'm I'm sorry, I got distracted. Can
No
can
problem.
you can you ask me that again?
No problem. I was saying like did you ever like you know face any other challenges during the development of your content like you know, as you start to develop your, you know, your safe space, have there been like any other like, you know, haters that would try to block where it'd be like, okay, because you know, you have people that would like purposely would try to demonetize like your platform, or they'll try to get you off your center as a person to where it's like, you know, what you have set up, people will try to set you up to destroy you.
You know, I think one of the hardest things was how transparent, you know, I've always been. And for some people, I mean, when you open yourself up like that, you're always going to be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got to have thick skin because you open yourself up and people are going to judge. They're watching you. But you're also going to get a lot of support, and I find that there's something there's something about telling your story because that's only your story. So I knew I was going to get a lot of pushback. I know that the things I speak about is highly stigmatized, but I feel that we need it in our community and other communities as well. But, you know, I feel the black and brown communities really, really, we should talk about mental health and sobriety stuff more. Okay. So I knew I was going to get some pushback. You know, people are going to be like, oh, you're just a junkie, blah, blah, blah. But that's okay. That's okay. I already was expecting that, and I don't let it bother me.
I get you. Now, the other question I have, right? Okay, because you know, you as a you know as a social media influencer, you know, you have like a lot of people that are supporting you in your journey.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas it's that like, okay, us like, we have like, our own lane as well too, but we may not have like a lot of people that's being influenced, as you have. And so my question is that how did you how did you blow up, right? Basically, how does your channel grew to like X amount of like subscribers? Like, I think the last time I checked, I think you had like 15,000 subscribers or more.
I'm close. I stopped creating content for a while. It took a break.
Mm-hmm.
I needed a mental break, but you're asking me how did I grow my channel?
Yeah.
Doing what you're doing, collaborating with other content creators, and since I already did search engine optimization type stuff, I understand the algorithm, and I just stuff like that. But it's you just gotta be present, treat it as a job, and you grow your channel little by little.
Okay, I
And
see.
I don't really mean little by little because everybody's growth is different. Some people just do uploads. I choose to do uploads and live stream. I can tell you that a lot of my subscribers actually came from my videos, like my uploads, my shorts, and my long form videos, more so than my live stream. When I live stream, it's more for you guys. It's more for like the community. We're just talking about stuff. But if you want to grow your channel, make your video searchable so people can find it. If you do a live stream, repurpose the title. So make it searchable. Like, think, what are people searching for? So if you have a subject, like say I'll stream about something, it could be random. Like I'll put somebody's name in the title. If I wanted to repurpose it, I'll change it from that name and make it more like we had a heated discussion or something, or arguing, something that people can search for, because they're not searching for M3. If they search for M3, they'll probably come with like M3 player or something like that. So repurpose your video. So think about how would you search for this subject, and it's okay to put the names in the tags. Where like you go to the YouTube studio, and I'm giving y'all some gems right now.
Yeah, because we definitely need that.
Tag in behind the scenes. So like say you go live, title it whatever, wait 24 hours. Okay, wait 24 hours if you want to like repurpose that video, change the title, and make it searchable. And those uploads are gonna help grow your channel as well.
Okay, because I think like for us, right? Like understanding like, okay, what is our algorithm? It could be a little bit tricky, a little. Well, I don't know, for us like to really kind of understand, because because we did so many like collaborations with certain people, and where it became like a channel where, okay, we have our own purpose, but then we have different mindsets, different people. It could blend into someone that could talk about, let's say, the manosphere, or somebody that could talk about feminism. I mean, the whole purpose of ours is like more like a relationships, but yet / entertainment channel. It could be so heavily mixed that I don't know if we're like, confusing our own algorithm from YouTube. So,
well, YouTube has to know how to promote your video, so you definitely want to understand your target audience. And nowadays, people aren't really niching down anymore. They have a variety, but I believe in a niche, and the reason why is because it's searchable. So let's say I cook on my channel, right? So I have an overall. Oh my goodness, y'all! I have a channel where we do everything on there, but my niche is sobriety. Does that make sense? So I'm always tying it in some kind of way. So you could do a bunch of different things, because if you're live streaming, people are getting to know your personality. My only thing is, are you confusing the algorithm? You just have to let the algorithm know what your video is about. How do you do that? Your thumbnails, your tags, and your description.
Okay.
So how they don't know who to promote your channel to if you're just, okay, you got music. You have a separate music channel, right? I don't know if you have the same Gmail or whatever, or if you're just combining. You have a separate music channel, right?
Oh, do I have a music channel? Well, no. Well, we don't have like one of our members, DJ Eddie, he has his own music channel. But for us, like, you know, our channel is just basically like just relationships, reaction videos, and you know, I have like a long list of playlists that describes like, okay, what will probably be the theme. I have a playlist for like live interviews, news channels, a playlist for, you know, like relationship topics. So that's where I usually kind of categorize like, you know, my listings. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. But I try to make sure I do like, you know, like a fair type of description just to let people know what you're tuning into. So if you're looking for those type of things or something that's just for fun, where I'm just uploading videos, you know, I put it like in a different category. And salutes to Marcus. I see you in the building. Shouts to you. Also, shouts to 100 Watts. That's also in the building as well. Thank you for tuning in. Great question,
Yeah,
sir. Thank you, sir.
that sounds good. I'm sorry. That sound. I mean, that sounds. Don't forget streams on knowledge, experience, interviews, Rachel. What? Somebody wants to join the chat? Sure. I guess I could. I'm so sorry. I was stuck on. I sent out a message if I should simulcast it, and they're just not responding. So, because I need help with the editing. So, I didn't know if you still wanted me to. But the thing was,
you can feel free to simulcast if you wish.
It's up to you. It's up to you guys. It's your channel. But what was I gonna ask you?
Yeah, and if you have any questions for me, like, yeah, feel free to ask away. The thing is, like, for us, like, I don't want to treat it like, you know, like this is like kind of like a interview. I want to just treat it more like a conversation. So, you know, we're just chilling, just like, you know, allowing our audience to pretty much get to know all of us, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and simulcast, but I gotta tell you right now, we're calm at the moment. But you know, we're calm. But you know, in a different area, at least. Okay, they're listening. But I don't want to interrupt your questions. You just asked me a question. But what I was gonna say was this: whatever you talk about, you just have to. You just have to let the algorithm know how to find you. So whether you're doing a reaction video, then your titles are gonna say that, right? Because that's what you're talking about. Your description is gonna say that. Your tags are gonna say that. So you're not going to confuse the algorithm. Algorithm's a machine. What does confuse it is if you have these tags and you have this title and your video has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
And actually, your tag that's against YouTube regulations as well.
Okay.
You know, but you're doing okay. Like I said, a lot of people, the newer creators aren't niching down. Their channels, they have everything. I even seen people game and do interviews and stuff like that, which I don't know how that works. I would personally create a separate channel for that, because if you're going to be a gamer, then you should be a gamer. But you know, but you see it. Ask yourself, is what you're doing right now giving you the results that you want? So if the answer is no, doesn't mean that you're really doing something wrong. You just figured out that doing what you're doing is not, you know, okay, let me try something else. So sometimes we have to try something and eliminate that. We don't look at it like, oh, okay, I didn't accomplish anything. No, you accomplished something. You figured out this wasn't working for you. So then you try something else. So by you going out, collabing, networking, what I do, you want to know what I did? I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay.
I would just jump in the chats and be a part of a group. Okay. I wouldn't speak. I would speak hello, but I wouldn't ask for anything. I used to just jump in, and then eventually I got to know like the people from the chat, and then I started to ask them to come over. Kind of like what you did with me. You didn't ask me for anything. You just jumped to the chat, and I eventually started to show you out. So just keep doing that, and also look at channels that's similar to yours, and look to see how they're titling their streams. I'm not saying to be a copycat. I'm just saying to see what's working for them, and then fix that to work for you.
That's good advice. So people, like, you know, who's watching, hopefully you guys are taking your notes on this one, because yeah, I just look at like everything that you do, and it ties it to like a simple old saying. It's not about like, you know, what you know, but it's about like who you know in some cases. And
well, I can't really say that now. Let me tell you something. If you want
okay.
to grow fast, because
Mhm.
okay, that too, that's always gonna matter. But here's the thing: you want your
Okay.
own audience. You
Hmm.
don't really, because let's say you collab with somebody and you're like,
Okay.
wow, they're a bigger content creator, or something like that. And I'm just telling you things that I've seen and that I've experienced. Let me tell you something. You want your
Okay.
own audience because they're gonna support you no matter what you do and whether you change your commentary or not. And you can't go wrong with uploads. People are searching for stuff. Not ever
Mm.
think about this. Do you search for live streams or do you search videos on YouTube? So
Okay.
what you search for is what other people search for. So I'm not saying that it's not also who you know, but you
Hmm.
gotta develop. But I would hate for you to meet somebody that you're like, damn, this person is a good person to collab with, and you haven't found your own identity yet. What are you bringing to the table?
Mm. Okay. Okay. I didn't really think about it like that. And a
Here's
lot
the
of
reason
times,
why.
especially.
Think about
Okay.
this.
All right.
You come strong, and I'm gonna tell you
Hmm.
some other tricks that I've done too. Okay,
Okay.
so you come strong. They're gonna see something in you, and they're gonna know. When I'm looking at you, I'm like, okay, okay, there's a smaller channel. I don't look at it like that. You have a lot of potential to grow. So I definitely want to meet you right now, right? Because I'm like, okay, I got to know you. You're gonna get larger. You're gonna have that audience. You don't need a lot. You really a strong whatever. I have a strong 10, 20, 30 people that's in my circle. The rest, I appreciate them, but I have that backbone that's going to be there for me no matter what stupid things Misunderstood did. So I would, you want to be, because they're going to see something in you, and you're not even going to have to ask them to promote you. You're not going to really, it's not going to take much. You can ask them, but they're already going to see something in you, and they're going to want to invest in you. You'll be so surprised. And another thing that I used to do is make videos for people when I was editing. I used to see one of their videos and show them an edit. I'll do an intro and send it to them and say, wow, I really appreciated your commentary. Here's something for you that I thought you might like. And if you don't, okay, and I would do things like that. Why? Because they would share me out. And that's what I did in the beginning. I used to send out videos almost every week to different people. Like, hey, wow, I love that, And I kept doing it. And I went over to the channel speaking about addiction and stuff like that because I wanted to see. Now my group is a little crazier. I can't go with the same format. All right, I would bore my audience. No offense to them, but I wanted to see how did they engage. And I went over there speaking to like nurses and doctors that dealt with addiction, just in case I needed them to come to my channel, and they would give me advice and they would support me even like behind the scenes, on camera and stuff like that. So everything you're doing is great, but all I'm saying is take you, because just as much as you're like, wow, Misunderstood, I'm like, wow, I'm sitting here with M3. Shit, like I'm sitting here with the boss. I'm sitting over here with somebody that can do these collabs, that can do the graphics and stuff like that. So don't underestimate yourself. We're not looking at you like a smaller content creator. You're up and coming, and you're talking to, the World Wide Web. It's not just who's in your audience and your replay value and stuff like that. It's like, don't look at it like that. We're just as much as impressed with you. Just continue to develop your channel and find your audience. And sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes it's like, let me try this. That didn't work. But you will find it. You just have to keep going.
Man, that's a lot of beautiful gems that you share, Misunderstood. And I actually thank you for giving that sound advice and for bigging us up as well too. And you know, a lot of times we could also be our worst critic sometime, or we can like undermine ourselves because we're always looking for something greater, or we look up to content creators that are, more successful. So of course, like we always want to emulate, wow, like how can, we have an audience like them, or how can we, continue to improve and develop. But yeah, I mean, when it comes down to our niche, it's basically just utilizing whatever talents that we have to pretty much bring our audience and our group together, you know. And if anybody who's watching or listening, look, if you could learn something from this, then hey, then I'm satisfied. If you listen and you walk away feeling confident about yourself based on whatever that we share about our own lives, hey, that's good enough for me. And let me go get to Marcus's question, because this is a funny one. He
Okay.
says, when we're gonna have a Gamer Olympics GP, well, Gray Pill versus M3. Unfortunately, Marcus, man, due to the fact that Gray Pill pretty much cowered out when I offered him like some smoke, he decided to throw the white towel in. So unfortunately, we're not gonna have like an M3 versus like player two because Gray Pill, the player two, decided that he don't want to do it. So sorry to disappoint you guys, but whenever he get his Nintendo Switch, whenever he's ready, I'll have my thumbnail ready for him. So and we can get started.
Right on.
Yeah. So things like that, like we just pretty much have fun, like with our people like in the chat. And the beautiful part about it is that they support us just as much as like we support them. And I just wanted to make sure that we, as the quote unquote from a great man who called us the Mecca, I want to make sure that we are providing our authenticity to the people in the chat. So
I see y'all in the clouds. Hey, you guys, and that's what my chat is. It's kind of strange. I see y'all. Hang on, and let me explain something. So you guys, I don't want y'all to think I'm being rude.
yeah, no, bro.
So because of the type of chat that I have, there's a lot of
Mhm.
people that communicate with me and are used to communicating with me through the clouds, because sometimes we'll hit like sensitive subjects. So I don't ignore them because I appreciate them watching from the clouds. So if you see me messaging my chat like and stuff like that, I'm not being rude to you. They're just like saying good question or a good answer or stuff like that. And that's just how they are. So yeah.
No problem. And honestly, I encourage anybody, every content creator, to interact with your chat as much as possible, because without you guys interacting with us or supporting us, we wouldn't really have much to really offer you guys, because it is about you guys as well too, just as it's about us. So anytime when a person in the chat have a question or something that you can learn from, I'd be more happy to interact with you guys.
Okay. You heard that, you guys. If y'all have questions, send it here, and I will read them off, because they strictly stay in the clouds, so they don't come down. They're just, but I appreciate their support. Big hugs. So yeah, I there's people that I admire and I love their work. I love how they run their channel. Like, even though like there's a lot of channels that I don't care if they're a large creator or a small creator. There's just things I'm like, wow, I wish I could do that. And we're all like that. And I learn from them. Sometimes I ask questions and I'll grab it. So it's, I appreciate people, especially, there's been people that's been doing it a lot longer, and I learned from, I'm learning. I can learn from you guys. But when you're having your panels and stuff like that, you guys actually have good subjects and good panels. I would definitely capitalize that, and I would market that. Hey, we have, these panels and these topics, and I would bring them to I would get to know these content creators and bring the subjects over there and ask them, I would love to see you there. Will you show up? You know what I mean? Like, so I try to get, like, even if they don't stick with it, like, even if they're like something else comes up, because it always happens, it's kind of nice because it puts it in their head. So people that know me know I can be really persistent. Okay. So there would be people that I would ask again and again, like, hey, I'm going to talk about this tonight. Will you be there? So I kind of would ask with the expectation of them being there. And I think you kind of do that as well. But I just know that, all that stuff helps. Just, you have a panel show. There's some people that strictly look for panels. And the fact that you have a topic with all the garbage and stuff that's going on, I would hit these sectors that I'm in hard and let them know that you have panel shows. Like, don't just do it right away. Get to know them. Mingle with the groups and stuff like that, and a lot of people are looking for actual conversations.
Yeah, that's so true, because because I know for sure, like, what really like kind of like I don't know if the right word is like burning bridges, but like a way that relationships kind of fizzle out is when things become like one-sided, or everybody has a motive for something, but when you're not really like putting like your part into like the conversation, into like the movement, or into the relationship, people are going to quickly see that. And once they kind of catch on to you, it's like, all right, you know, you'll start to see like kind of like the lack of support because I mean, we have people that will come and people will come and go. Okay. Our doors are mostly open for anybody to pretty much come, speak their mind, or want to like build with us, you know. But
Okay, before I came, I should tell you, I didn't mean to cut you
okay,
off,
good.
but
No
I
problem.
did glance at your channel before I came. You know, I just think that you haven't quite found your audience.
Okay. And you said brand search, right? So how do you brand search?
Well, your audience is gonna register to you. You're talking about, okay, so your title is knowledge and relationships, and then you was like, okay, we talk about this, talk about that, but your title, it says knowledge and relationships. Now I can't talk because I also talk my channel. I say, hey, you know what? We're the sobriety sector, and you go over there and we're fighting, right?
Right.
But within that sector, we talk about everything, and that's loose, so it's kind of tricky. So you're talking about relationships and you're talking about everything else. And I don't mean that I mean, the audience you have is great. They're gonna be your day ones. You need them. You need them. And what I did with my day ones is I minded them so I knew who they were. So I know who my day ones are. You need them because they're gonna stick with you as you grow, and they're gonna appreciate you. And it's important for us as content creators to remember our day ones because they had our back. And they're the ones that's going to be your core supporters. So that's important. You got that. Now to branch out, they're gonna stick around and watch you in the clouds, and you just have to keep finding you have the topic. Now it's how do you push that topic? You're talking about relationships and stuff like that. What other relationship channels are you visiting? What or what other, like, I could think of 3 right now, like, damn, you'll be a good fit over there. And it's going to register. And a lot of times I would type in sobriety and I would see who mostly relates who's a channel like mine. And I'll go there and invite them over. I'm just saying that the people that's interested in panels and relationships and stuff like that will definitely be interested in your channel. You just have to keep going. You're not presenting drama. Well, you know, you got some a little sometimes. You're not doing that. So it is going to be, you know, people right now are into the Jerry Springer type thing, but not everybody. There's a bunch of people that's interested in what you're talking about. You just have to find them and they'll stay.
Okay. No, and that makes sense because, like, I mean, in our past time, like when we had like a Jerry Springer style type of show, I mean, which it wasn't really our intent, but you know, we had like a lot of men supporting us, but the problem was like it started becoming a little bit toxic because now it's like you have a lot of
no, go ahead. I was just playing. It was like don't do it, but go ahead.
No, like you have a lot of men like okay that and they're valuing their own point, but then it's like okay, when you start to lose the focus of having a solution-based conversation, then it's like we got to switch it up. And most of our support, you know, besides for the men, like women are supporting our channel as well too, and they're giving like an extra like added spice. So you're hearing both the perspective for men and for women as well too. And of course, naturally, they're gonna butt heads because we see everything different from a different lens. Where a woman may feel like certain things is right, and other men may feel certain things are right, which is cool. But by the end of the show, we gotta make sure that, hey, you know, well, where we learn from having this conversation, because we're not just having these conversations just for nothing, and then walking away without like no solution-based like type of conversations, you know. So
that's great. That's a great subject. Let me tell you something. I forgot that you were a knowledge and relationship channel because I threw out to my audience that I was a relationship expert and that I wanted to, you know, give them relationship advice. No, they pretty much cursed me out and they would offer you know, but I still love those kind of subjects. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start talking about relationships. I could definitely tell you relationships that have gone wrong. I could definitely tell you a lot of stuff, but I do know that people are interested in that. Your panels are very, very entertaining, well run, And you just have to keep doing it. Sometimes it takes a while, but you're gonna have that aha moment. And I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what worked and what didn't work for me and people that have had channels that their channels are way bigger than mine. I mean, they're hitting, and I'm like, what did you do? So sometimes it just takes a little longer. And I think that honestly, the drama and stuff like that is great. It's always gonna bring people in, but it could be really draining. And when I got in the middle of that stuff, like now I'm like, no, we're toning it back down. We're toning it back down. This isn't good for me. And I'm finding, it's been a little pushback, but at the end of the day, I can tell you, I really enjoy these kind of conversations where we can just speak and we're not yelling over each other and stuff like that. Yeah. And that person that was in your chat knows more about knows a lot about growing a channel and stuff like that. I don't know if he's gonna speak or not, but he's good at that kind of stuff and algorithm type stuff. Like he's not really a YouTuber, but he definitely makes videos and things like that. So I'm just saying there's so many people that's willing to just say, hey, this could help, that could help. And it's nice that you're willing to that you're asking because you want to grow. I love seeing that.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. And then we got some of our loyal people right here too. Besides, the homie Marcus. So salutes to you guys. Marcus, thank you for always supporting us. Salutes to Manic Sophistication. So what up, Sophisticated Jerk and Manic Genius? Thank you guys for tuning in and supporting us. And then we have Ruthless Truth, man. He's always here to support us, man, and point out the sin for women, So salutes to Ruthless Truth. So yeah, we got, we do have our core people, and sometimes even if because I'm not trying to be all fixated with the numbers. I'm just only trying to make sure the message get across, and I know eventually it's gonna grow to be even better. I have so many people who come to me, even people from the clouds, right? Because you're gonna have those people that they'll watch and they won't say anything in the chat, but personally I'll get these messages, or even some of the friends that know me personally, they'll come up to me and be like, hey man, great show, man, I like what you're doing or whatever. So you have all different kinds of people that will tune in, whether it be the live streams or sometimes maybe the short video content. One thing I do. I was gonna say one thing I do know for sure is that a lot of people do tune in into the live streams for whatever reason. So if you guys like it, we'll continue on.
We love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely love it. I think that you do your live streams and I can glance at your channel. It's just well, I could talk to you about some stuff behind this. I gotta be careful when I say behind the scenes, y'all. There's just some things you have a great format, great everything, and it could just be your titles. It takes a while to grow, and but the thing is, you're growing organically, and you have a very loyal following, and you're only gonna get bigger. They're gonna stay with you, so you don't have to worry about it. It's I just lost my train of thought. It's just being known for something. So when I come around, most people know I'm the Sprite chick. That's a little crazy. It's blah blah blah, whatever your niche is. When people are looking for me and stuff like that, they kind of know what my personality is like, what I give. Now, I have a good feeling for you because you've been in my chat, you're in my comment section. I see that, and believe me, by you doing that, if I see it, other people see it, and that's all you really have to just keep doing. And it's work. When I enter somebody's chat, it could be your chat, other people. I do YouTube not as a hobby, okay? So I want to get paid from doing what I love, right? I'm sure you probably do too. So I treat it as a business. When you're leaving comments in people's chat and you're getting known, the only thing I'm whatever your niche is, I just think knowledge and relationships, great, enter that chat, but don't forget to push that. You know what I mean? You see some people arguing on a panel or something like that. You don't have, I'm just giving you some tips. You don't have to listen. Hit that. You know what? my channel. Hey, how are you guys doing? If you don't know them, I have a channel on knowledge and relationships. Do you mind if I offer my input? So that way, I mean, people are arguing all the time. It's always relationships. You could jump into that conversation. They're getting to know you, and then they're gonna come subscribe to your channel. Am I
Right.
toxic? I'm not toxic. Can I answer a question?
Yeah. You can feel free to answer it.
I'm not toxic at all. Is that hey King? How are you guys doing? Hi, hey you guys. I was gonna simulcast it, but I wasn't sure and I asked him in the middle of the stream. But anyways, I'm not toxic. I am. That's loaded. What do you mean by am I toxic? Anybody can be toxic. Depends on who you're talking to.
Rufus Truth, he loves playing around, asking like good, fun questions. So, I mean, you could elaborate a little bit more, Rufus Truth. He also asked a question: why is she misunderstood?
Okay, great question. Actually, I feel that other people misunderstand me because I talk about addiction, sobriety stuff, but I don't always talk about that. Sometimes I'm just fighting over just whatever. But I'm actually saying that I understand you. So when I say misunderstood, I understand you, but the play on the word is that other people don't understand me.
And that's a good fit as well too, because I feel like we all could be misunderstood.
I feel that way too.
Yeah. So I mean, I like the, what I mean? Like, yeah, definitely like just keep the name because I like that title of it. It suits you very well,
Yeah, you guys could always call me MU or whatever, but misunderstood, yeah. So
yeah.
I'm very friendly, but I'm very I'm a friendly girl. I'm gonna treat you how you treat me.
Yeah, definitely. We also we also have some people that's in the Instagram chat as well too. I gotta give you guys some shout outs, man. Let me give you guys some personal shout outs. Shout outs to the Psychopath podcast. Salute to you, sis. Thank you for tuning in.
Hi, Instagram. You have to show me. I don't know how to do all that. You're gonna have to show me how to do that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna definitely show you how to do it because Instagram's a fun tool to really stream using the StreamYard format. But however, it can be a little technical, and I'll explain that to you in a minute. Shout outs to like Chap Star. What up, Chap? Shout outs to you. Shout outs to Queen Sheba. Big Rig Slaps. I see you. Salute in the building. Evolution Media. Thank you for tuning in. Salutes to you. Lady E, thank you for tuning in on the Instagram side. If you guys still watching on Instagram, feel free to come up to the YouTube sector as well too. What I was gonna say. And like I said, misunderstood. You could, if you wish, like if you want to simulcast, you could do it at any time that you wish. And let's see. Rufus Truth asks, "Are you married?" That's a good basic question.
No, not.
You said hell? Say it again.
No, not married.
Okay. She's not married, Rufus Truth. Maybe he's trying to shoot a shot at you. So I don't know.
Oh, wait. Can you go back to that? So he's trying to offer you some advice here. He's saying add keywords to your that misunderstood over there might get mad at you. Don't wins in your chat. Nah, I'm not married, but I'm in a relationship. And add keywords to your basic info that support the knowledge and relationship brand.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. So probably I guess like some keyword samples, like basically just tag what relationships or knowledge or something, or okay. All right, I'll definitely start adding some keywords.
Yeah, you guys should connect. Like he is, like you guys should, and he can help you out with that kind of stuff.
Okay, yeah, definitely for sure. Because I know sometimes, man, it'd be like I wouldn't say challenging, but like sometimes, like a lot of times when I set my stuff up, I don't set stuff like on the computer. I usually set on the mobile, so I know I need to try to switch back and forth so I can start adding these keywords into it. Waldo the Ruler, salutes to you, brother. Thank you for tuning in. And Rufus Truth says, "What do you think about feminism?" Okay.
I'm not a feminist at all. So I'm gonna say I think nothing about it. I don't even think about it. It's not my thing.
That's a great answer. Okay. So she don't think about anything about feminism. Okay.
No.
Yeah. All right. So let me ask you this, misunderstood. I don't think I kind of dig a little bit more deeper into like the sobriety aspects, but like, and like I said, you could choose not to share like, anything that was personal, but I guess my question is that um like if you want to share like maybe like some like the addictions or the feelings like when you were like before going to the sobriety, and what was like your breaking point to get into your sobriety journey. Hopefully it wasn't too loaded.
You can ask me whatever you want, like bring a mess.
Okay.
I'll tell you this. So you're asking me what made me decide to get sober?
Yeah.
That's what you're asking me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Life became unmanageable. Now I was one of those people, and I know that it could be, when people think of an addict and think about somebody that's strung out, that's all miserable.
Mhm.
No, I wasn't anything like that. I didn't see a problem with what I was doing. Okay. I didn't have anyone to really answer to. And it was just like, I didn't really realize I had a problem until I tried to stop. And that's when I knew there was a problem. Because when I was doing it, I think when we're doing something, we tell ourselves we can stop at any time. So it wasn't until I tried to stop that I realized I could, oh shoot. So it was, all right, let me just go ahead and use, and it'd just be once a week. Okay. Obviously that became out of control, and then life became out of control, and it started to interfere with my relationships, started to interfere with like everything. And I'm blogging at this time. I'm trying to get sober. I started my channel from day zero, trying to get sober. And I started when that feeling of letting people down and letting myself down, and it's very public. That's when it started to get my attention. Like I realized that people were actually watching, and I was affecting other people. I never really knew how my addiction affected other people. But my final straw was when I got doxxed and CPS was called. I was actually sober at this time, and my kids got taken away, and I was sober. That hit me so hard because I didn't have anything to numb that with. And I had to maintain that sobriety. And I told myself that I would never touch that drug again when that happened. I would never do anything that would get my kids taken out of their comfort zone. And I ended up getting them back, but I had to wait for the hair follicle test to come back because of the court systems and all that over some internet stuff. And I said, I have to really clean up my life. I have to clean up this main addiction. I had to fix my the stuff. I had to fix my online image. I had to I really took life seriously because I didn't know that I would grieve like that. We hear about kids getting taken out the home all the time, but I never was prepared. I wasn't prepared for the grieving process of that. So then now I'm getting more days under my belt as that's happening. And that is when that was the last time I've used drugs. So that's about, that's over 500 days ago. We're in a different place. But that was my final. That was, how do you say
your final straw, last straw?
Yeah, but isn't there a word like that? I can't think of the word, but it's
your like, breaking point.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So over 500 days. Wow. Okay. So pretty much almost like
I'm almost at 2 years. Almost at 2 years. May 21st is my sobriety birthday. I'll be 2 years sober. That's the longest I've ever, that's the most days I've ever had. So I'm really like, wow, we're doing the damn thing. Okay, so
I gotta give you a round of applause for this because
thank you, Quantum.
Because the thing is that like, and thank you, Jack, for your support. Yes, definitely congratulations. I remember, okay, I remember a little snippet of you sharing about really going strong and quitting like like your addiction, and then next thing I know, like it was like days you was counting, then it was weeks, and then it became months, and then that full year I was like, wow, okay, like you're really growing strong, like you're serious about this, and I mean I didn't know to the extent that CPS was called. but I'm glad that you are reunited with your family, and I'm glad that through your experience, like you choosing to grow stronger for your family and for yourself, and you looking good each day. So I mean, like the results is hitting. You got that glow.
Yeah,
So
I gotta tell you, I am so now it was a journey. And
yeah.
you've been there for a lot of that journey, like you said, when I was
Mhm.
counting, and it was like weeks and then months, and then it was a lot. But I'm starting to feel so much better. So one of the disappointments that I had, which I hope that no one does, but I was telling myself, okay, I've been sober for 3 months, I should feel better. I didn't feel
Mhm.
better. I went through something called what does it stand for? I think it's post-acute withdrawal syndrome. And
Yeah.
because of the length of time that I've used it, I experienced that for about 9 months. So that's the after effects of, so you go through a normal withdrawal after detox, whatever, blah blah blah. So if it lasts longer than that, then you go into what they call pause, right? And so I would set up these little celebrations, like 6 months. I'm gonna feel great, and no, my mind was so affected by this drug. The depression was there, a lot of stuff. I just had to hang in there. About 9 months, I started to feel a lot better, but it's definitely a journey, and I just got to tell people that's going through addiction or recovery, just to hang in there, because it's not going to be all peaches and cream. But I told myself that no matter what, I would not pick up that drug. And I could not believe the day that I woke up and I felt normal. And for some people it won't be that long, but for me, because it was about 20 years altogether, okay, more give or take some. And so I went through that, but now, after all this time, I'm starting to feel a lot better. So I appreciate your support and everybody else's support.
No, you're always welcome, man. We're gonna always. I mean, even though physically, like we can't be there for you, but we always gonna have like you, like in our thoughts and our prayers,
Thank you.
and give you as much like positive vibes and energy as much as possible. No matter what, outside of social media, you're a person. We care for you, you know, and we know that, you have that energy that makes everybody else feel loved.
Oh,
So, when you post stuff like in your community tab, one thing I do notice is that how much all your people love you so much, you
yeah,
know.
I appreciate that from. I mean, you're a part of our group. That's like I said. I
Mhm.
can't wait to. It's gonna be fun to watch you grow. I appreciate that, and let me tell you something. Like for me, this is life or death, but I appreciate you guys for for hanging in there with me, because I know that the relapses and all that. I mean, I did all that online. It was
Yeah.
rough for a lot of people, so
Mhm.
I don't mind, the criticism and stuff like that. I don't mind to bring it, but at the end of the day, I just wanted to show people what the journey was like in real time. So I do appreciate that, and the same way I have supported your community loves you as well. It doesn't matter if it's one, two, or three. You got people that's watching you and that you inspire. So just got to keep going.
Man, thank you. And I want to give like a quick shout outs for the people who are confident giving support. Um, DJ Rich Doctor, like thank you for like tuning in for your support. Appreciate you, brother. Quantum Love, much love. So thank you for tuning in as well. Wally, I see you as well too. And then who else is also in there? Von Eric, thank you for tuning in. And Waldo, like if I didn't give you a shout outs before, I'm gonna give you a shout outs now. Thank you so much. And we also got Mr. O just living in the building. Long time no see. Man, this is great. Let me share something about the people real
Okay.
quick in the chat, right? So I'm gonna tell you these are my day ones, right? Quantum Love is part of our day ones. Lady Sophia is part of our day ones, along with Marcus, Wally. Mr. O was with us in the beginning before we even had 500 subs. You know,
Nice.
definitely like people of longevity, and I will never forget the legendary Gator Girl. Although she's doing her own thing, and I know she's working like a lot and going through her own journey, but she always catches our replays. She's always like supporting us whenever she can. So these are people, and there's many more, right, to call out. But 100 watts as well too. These are people that really come, support knowledge and relationships to the finest core, intellectual soapbox, and all that. So I want to just say, thank you guys for the bottom of my heart for always rocking with us through the good and the bad times.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank y'all for supporting knowledge and relationships, because we depend on our day ones, and you guys rock, and we just really support. I love to see the support because he's such a solid guy. Terry says, and shout out to Terry is such a sweetheart. I know her. We've met. Like she's a beautiful person inside and out. And when she's saying that she's looking forward to learning more about your channel, that's what I'm saying. You gotta be ready, because people want to see who you are. And Terry, he has awesome panels. Just so you know, he does.
Yeah. So we got somebody that's in the building, right? And these are like one of our day ones. So Von Eric, who's in the building, salutes to you.
Blessings to everyone in the chat and on the panel. Good to see you, M3, and Misunderstood. I've been on the panel with you. I'm a subscriber to your channel.
Thank you.
Yeah, I forgot what the woman's name. Well, I don't want to say her name, but you did a moderator host. She had said something about she lives in Pennsylvania, so you should know who she is. And she said something about black people, something about the KK, something about black people, and then black people was mad at it because she did something that said she was going to send the KKK after somebody. I'm sure you know. You might not.
I have an idea. We've had quite a few controversial people. She was a moderator of mine.
No, you was the moderator, because she came on your platform and tried to explain the reason why she said that. Because she told a black guy, if you come over here, I was sending KKK after you.
Yeah, shoot, you were in a chat for that one. Yep.
Yeah, and I've been on your chat when you was explaining and all that your trials, tribulations that you went through with your kids and stuff like that, and how you overcame that, especially your addiction and stuff like that. So I was on your couple of your streams when you was explaining and telling people.
Because I'm like, I don't know what name you use, but you definitely know the conversation. So it's really nice to meet you, because I like to know the people that if you're a subscriber or a supporter, or you were just there. Thank you.
Yeah, I was there. Learned a lot at what you said, and also passed the information that you said to other people that was going through what you was going through. So I appreciate you coming on M3, because M3, I like when he does topics like this and bring people on, because it shows you be giving information out, and it shows that you care and you want to help people by spreading information of trials and tribulations of people that go through, which is, I think, it's phenomenal when people share their life like that, because it helps us all.
Oh, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate the feedback, and I'm glad that you could see past some of the stuff that happens on the panel, because we really do have good conversations. And as far as the racist goes, see, I'll let anyone speak. It doesn't necessarily mean that I like them. I will offer a platform and they could tell their story. It doesn't mean I agree. And doesn't mean we'll continue our relationship after. There's been a couple of people that was just too over the top, but I feel that without these conversations, you don't really know how do you change minds and hearts without those tough conversations. You got to give people wiggle room to change, and if they don't, and you're like, hey, this is a good fit, obviously I'm not going to bring a racist back, okay? Right. And I'm trying to see, but it was really controversial. I brought her on, I even brought her back, and then we parted ways because her views just completely contradict mine. But how do you do unless you have the conversation?
Exactly. And I thought that was good and phenomenal that you was able to do that. I think that's good. Even though you may have differences in other parts of life, you can still come together to either talk about something where y'all do come together as one and build off of that, even though other things in your life may be different or you may separate from. But I thought that was cool. So big ups to that. And that's what,
some people may not understand that, but it's not really for them to understand. But as content creators, are you a content creator, by the way?
No.
You're not. Okay. As content creators, for me, what I find is tough is I will let you speak no matter what, so we can learn from it. But and I need to do more disclaimers because the people on the panelists, it's not necessarily my opinion. I'm not saying if I agree or disagree. I want the chat, I want my audience to kind of have that discussion, and I'm gonna hold back. I will give my opinion at the end, but you have to make people comfortable enough to speak. Ain't nobody gonna come hit your link if you're like, come up here, you racist. I mean, they might, but it's gonna be a shit show. It's gonna be beef, okay? So I want to have that conversation, and I know you make somebody feel comfortable. And how do what do you want to accomplish? For me, I was hoping that I could show how hurtful that conversation was, how hurtful it is to other people. And this is very public. So I was hoping that, and the person did apologize, but we still had to part ways because of the contradictions, we still had to, but at least we had that conversation. And I know that for the audience, those are tough conversations to have. I mean, it's tough. So yeah. But you guys experience that over here. You're talking about relationships and things like that. I've seen some of y'all conversations. It gets heated.
Right. Which is understandable. As long as I think some people, which I see both ways, just doesn't let it get to your heart. Because once it gets to your heart, you let that person control and dictate your path. So, and I see that you and M3 don't do that. Y'all speak from the heart, and y'all allow y'all mind to dictate how you want to flow when it comes to the conversation, and y'all don't allow it to control who y'all are and get out of character or allow your emotions control your judgment, which I think is cool. That's why I like, always coming in and listening to M3 and knowledge and intellectual too, Soapbox also, and the people in the chat. Because the people in the chat that comes in and write their comments are phenomenal, and their judgment is cool. So,
yeah,
the panel that I see on the panel that M3 brings up on the panel, they pretty much got their self together, got their life together. Things may get out of the way. That's part of life, but at least they still are able to control their emotions, bring it down, and still speak with intellect that many people can hear and understand, which is a blessing.
That's so important. And I learned that actually from M3. I mean, because he always sends a link faithfully. So and a lot of times I don't come down because I'm driving. I drive a lot, and I hate, because I'm a talker. I like to participate in the conversations, but if you drive, I don't want to type in the chat and then somebody speaks and I'm not able to respond. But I'm in the clouds a lot. And the way that you run your panels is just phenomenal. I mean, yeah, it gets a little rough sometimes, but you're really good at bringing it back, having people speak in order and stuff like that, and it's still being fun. That really takes a talent. That's a gift.
Yeah. Now, I do have to give credit to Mr. Intellectual Soapbox. Well, Mr. Best in the world. Mr. Best is the one, because he's like our network manager. He's the one who's usually faithfully sends the links to a lot of people. I mostly just get everything just set up as far as with the StreamYard, the thumbnails, and try to come up with as much topic points as much as possible. But together as a team with me and Mr. Best and the people like Von Eric or people that are in the chat who may not be content creators yet, they help us out to really get the show rolling. So all credit goes to them too.
Shout out to you guys, okay? Because, and I think that as subscribers, we need you. I mean, we need our subscribers, and the subscriber is just as important as the content creator. I mean, together, it comes full circle. So definitely shout out to you guys. You play a huge part, especially when the way your chat's very interactive with you. That's just awesome. So shout out to y'all. You have an awesome chat.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Same thing goes for you as well too. And like I said, man, the people who support us, all of us, they're the ones who help make it happen, We could only give them so much of ourselves, but
Yeah.
as long as they keep supporting us, that's what really matters, you know. Uh, oh, I gotta give a shout outs to some more people in the Instagram chat. Salutes to you, family. Real the Gypsy, I see you. Salutes. Thank you for tuning in. Da Smalls, like, you know, thank you for tuning in. Sister I am, thank you for tuning into the Instagram chat. And Ashwati Fitness. Don't know if you're still in the building, but like I said, I saw you guys that tuned in. So whether it was a short stay or not, thank you guys for tuning in into like the Instagram side of the chat. So appreciate it. And shout out to Christopher J, who also came in the building. Real quick, everyone. Just want to say, like, look, if you're new to knowledge relationships, if you like what we do, if you like what you see so far, look, sometimes we have good topics, other times, man, these topics gonna go south. But don't take it personal. We're all here for the entertainment. But make sure you guys subscribe to Knowledge Relationships on YouTube. Okay. We also have a Twitch, Facebook. Find us on the network and subscribe to our channels. Also subscribe to the Intellectual Soapbox as well, too, because that's also part of, you know, the collab with Knowledge and Relationships with the Mr. Best's channel as well, too. So definitely please give us, like, you know, your support. And thank you. Nice meeting you all. Okay. Mr. O says, we family. I'll be back with more content soon. Hey, man, I'll be looking for it, Mr. O. So that's another guy. Oh, say again, Vaughn?
I was saying, no, I was giving a shout out to Mr. O. That's good, man.
Yeah. That's another guy, man, Mr. O. Like, you know, I mean, you know, he keep it player, but at the same time, the man knows how to cook too, man. So I be seeing him, man, doing live streams like in the kitchen and all. And I'm like, man, I don't know how you do it, but man, you do it smooth, man. So shout outs to you.
Well, what brought y'all what brought y'all together to do this stream, M3?
This was like a long time in the making. But you know, ever since like when I met like Misunderstood, like actually, I don't even know how. I don't know if it was maybe Mr. Best who came, but really connecting with people. But I was in like one of her live streams, and for a reason, like, you know, I just got the courage like to kind of come up, just to kind of like, you know, speak my piece, just to introduce myself. And man, we were just hitting off from that point, just having a good conversation. I wasn't asking for no shout outs or anything like that, but because Misunderstood is so giving, like she was like, you know, you have a platform. I was like, yeah. She shouted out. People came from her sector to support, and we was talking about sobriety, whether it be the B sector or whatever. I met like a couple other people like through her, but you know, she came. Since then, like she supported our platforms. There was times where she even came into, I think maybe, I don't know if it was one of like the ladies' night live talks, but I know that she definitely came through a couple of times. So we've been wanting to have this interview with her for the longest, but we had already a lot of like people that was scheduled for like these live talks. And at a certain point, I took a break from YouTube because like, well, you know, one, like we were producing so much content, we was getting burnt out. But then on that time we was supposed to come back, then I got sick for a minute, and it took a while for me to kind of heal or whatever. I mean, I had high blood pressure, but that was also a minor setback because then I had to detox myself. I had to, you know, I can't sit down for too long, but it was a lot of other factors, but that kind of delayed the process. So to be here now, like, you know, before, you know, like the year ends, I'm like, man, like this is like a blessing, you know, before the holidays.
Yeah, I had to do the same thing too, M3, as far as I had sitting down for too long. That could take a toll on your body, and dealing with high blood pressure, I had to change my eating habits and stuff like that. So yeah, that's you have to respect that body, you know. So
yeah, respect the body, but respect the peace as well too. So
that's true, yeah, because you gotta the core of it is stress, and you got to have peace within yourself so you can keep the stress at bay, so it won't get out of hand, because that can result into your pressure going high also. So big ups,
definitely.
big ups to you. I think, tell you the truth, big ups to you and 84, because believe it or not, some of those conversations that y'all have relieve people of some of the stress. It brings them to a calmness. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some of the content, and which is a blessing, it, especially to hear all that and hear the information coming from you and 80 Soapbox and Misunderstood and Big Slaps and Lola and all of those other people that Simon and Marcus and all of them. It gets. I know some people look at it and say it's crazy, but you got people in the chat like Quantum that be spitting some nice wisdom and things like that, man. And it's all right. It's cool. But I've been on hers, and I mean Misunderstood's channel a few times, and a lot of things that she was talking about was very much some wisdom that people can take in and build off of.
Right. And and I definitely appreciate that, man. Everything that you're saying, Von Bryant. I mean, sorry. But yeah, it's just good, man. It's just to kind of like have these type of streams, man, where it doesn't get too crazy,
Right.
Yeah. Now for the family out here, right? I want to definitely excuse me, do this real quick. Let me pin this like to the top. If you guys want to come up, maybe talk to Misunderstood, ask some questions. One, be respectful, of course. And then, like two, whatever questions guys have, make sure y'all get to a point. Don't be long-winded. When you guys do come up, because I already got the link that's pinned up already to the top of YouTube. Definitely please make sure y'all identify yourselves, especially if you're new. So don't be doing nothing crazy. Big Rick Slap says we have a good section over here for sure. Yep. We was crazy last night though. Oh man. Yeah, last night. Ooh, my gosh. Shout out to Lola, man. And Evolution. Yeah, last night was pretty wild though. That's probably what I haven't had like maybe one of those wild live streams for like a minute, but
yeah, hey, sometimes those things are needed. Never know, can't make a judgment on that, because sometimes those type of situations are needed. Is she still there? Misunderstood, or she?
I'm still here. I'm just listening to you guys.
Oh, I have a question. What would you tell a person that is going through a lot because of the addiction? They first getting into it, and they at the beginning. What would you tell a person? What would the first thing would you tell a person to remove themselves from?
Get support. Well, somebody that's going through addiction that may need some help.
Yes, the first day at that first part of it.
I would love for them to go to the hospital to see, because we need to see how. I mean, I would suggest they got help, but the first day, honestly, just talking to them, because they're probably not going to go to the hospital.
Right.
Tell them to not use. Don't pick it up, no matter what they're feeling. It's going to get better, and they want to get support. They want to find people that's going to support them. But the most important thing is to stop using. It's hard to reason with somebody that's on drugs, right? So I would have to keep it really simple. If you could just keep them sober long enough to talk to them so they can start making those decisions for themselves, that's going to be really important. And eventually, you want them to get checked out to see, what's going on. But if they don't do that, honestly, I got sober on my own by just not using. So I would definitely just want to encourage that person just give them a lot of love and just tell them not to pick it up.
But what
And
was
then
your mindset at?
convince them to get help later. You said
What
what
was
was my what?
What was your mindset at that time when you said that's it? What was you thinking mentally?
At first, I mean, I was tired. I was done. I was so tired. I was tired of the relapses. The relapses started to get harder and harder. And because I started to just let myself down. I remember when I hit 4 months, I'm like happy. And that's why you got to kind of be careful with these, with these, I was like, wow, I was just happy. And I stopped practicing everything that I've learned and I relapsed. And it was the most devastating thing ever. I was so depressed and the drug just didn't lift that depression anymore. So I stopped using, thinking that depression was going to get better. Depression only got worse. So I wanted to pick it back up to feel better, because now I had some clean time, so my tolerance and everything. But no, I was just so done. I was depleted.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. What steps do you take to relieve yourself from depression?
Oh, I'm very active. I do Pilates, I walk. I love nature. I go out. I love to hike. I go ballroom dancing. I'm pretty active because that's what's going to help raise your dopamine levels and your serotonin levels because, when you're using the drugs, especially methamphetamines, you deplete your dopamine levels, you deplete the serotonin, you damage it actually with methamphetamines. So, it takes a while to get that back once you damage it. So I say, you know what, get outside, go for a walk, and incorporate exercise into your recovery because that's going to help get those neurotransmitters working again, those dopamine levels up and the serotonin levels.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. That's good to know. So I guess when you're dealing with someone and trying to help someone, you got to have patience because it's not easy. And actually, does it depends on the person also, right?
You said what? I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question. What did you say?
I said when someone is trying to help someone that's trying to get off, that person must have patience, correct?
Yes. Yes, it could be hard. And you got to have patience. And it's easy to get caught up in that person's life. So you don't want to become like codependent. And it's easy to do because you want to help them so much. But really the decision is up to that person.
Would it be a crime if the person walk away because they can't handle it because the person is not listening?
They should walk away.
Oh, okay.
Should love them from afar because it will damage you. And I hate to say that because if you would have asked me that a year ago, I would say hell no. But now knowing what I know, now there's some people that have a background in it. They specialize in it. I'm not talking to those people because they know what to do and they know when to walk away and be encouraging. But for other people, if it's affecting you and you find yourself making excuses for them and trying to cover for them and because that could also hinder their recovery. So they have to make that decision. Now I know in the beginning stages, it's going to be tough, but at the end of the day, it's up to us. I'm responsible for my recovery. You can encourage me, but I have to make that decision on my own. I can't put that off. And sometimes walking away for me, like I said, my relationship started to fall apart. I didn't want those people to leave me, and I can't say you got to protect yourself. You have to take care of yourself. We're okay. We're numb. We're using the drug. Okay. You're the one that's suffering. I mean, we're suffering too. We don't realize it. And I know that people are probably like, oh no, mad at what I'm saying. But what I'm telling you is that we often forget about the loved ones, the one that's encouraging us. And sometimes you have to do it from afar. And you could try, but if you see, okay, this person keeps relapsing and stuff like that, how is that affecting you? How is that affecting your family? It could be a really toxic environment and relationship.
Did you see M3? Did you see that clip that B-Eazy did on Vlad TV when he asked him about the fentanyl and crack, and B-Eazy said, I tell people to go and do crack instead of doing fentanyl because fentanyl is taking people out like that. He said crackheads been around for 30 years and 20 years and haven't died, but that fentanyl, he said, nah, I rather, he said, I promote crack and tell people to go do crack instead of doing fentanyl. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that. And my opinion is that, like, okay, um, you know, that dude's way out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I heard some, like, some really devastating stories, man, of like how that drug, man, really messes people up.
Right.
But I want to still promote one drug to another. You know what I mean? Because even if, let's say, the crack epidemic, people survived through that, or they didn't, or less people overdose on crack, as far as like, well, more people on fentanyl.
Right.
Like, I still wouldn't even advise that. Just if you can, man, try to get some mental help. Try to get a support group. Try not to take drugs at all. Period.
Right.
I know a person who is what do you call it? Alcohol recovery or something like that, right? A person who's recovering, even like with alcohol.
Oh, who's in recovery from alcohol? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying,
yeah. Like, people, like all those things, man. Like, it really mess up with, like, between you and your family.
Right.
I heard even with crack itself. Like, I've heard devastating stories. I mean, I've seen people, family members that been on that, and man, it just went left. People lost their jobs. They couldn't sustain it for too long because you was too busy getting high. You know what I mean? If you're not taking care of, like, your responsibilities and you're using those as a way to escape, well, my thing is that, like, okay, what is causing you to feel a certain type of way where you need substance to begin with? And that's not me judging,
right,
but that's me, if I can, try to helpfully dissect the problem, because I want to tackle the whatever that's in deep waters.
right.
So then that way we could find a strategic way to help bring it out, to help you get out of the depression, to help get you out of needing a substance that's going to be harmful to your body for a quick fix. You know what I mean? In exchange for that.
Right.
So those are my advices. What I would just, like, tell people, if you can, man, try to just get the help that you need, but ask yourself, why are you needing those things to give you a quick relief?
That's good. And that is good. That's a really good point, and you're right. Well said.
Yeah. Sure is. I that's wisdom right there.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, Misunderstood, I know we're getting close to the 1 hour and 30-minute mark. I want to make sure that we're respectful for your time and we're not holding you up. So just let us know, like, whenever, like, if you have to go, like, real soon.
You have any final questions for me? Yeah, we'll see. I'm driving out, so Thursdays, and I would love to come back and continue the conversation. And and next time I will. I finally got the message to simulcast, and I know that probably seemed weird, but it's the editing and stuff that I worry about, like ending and stuff. It's just the YouTube end of it, but I will simulcast it next time. So let me say, so I'm getting ready to do some Argentine tango. I go to Los Angeles, and I get my little, exercise in and stuff like that. So, but I love talking to you. If you have any final questions, I will answer them. But I definitely enjoyed Von Eric. A pleasure. It's nice to meet you again. So now I can actually make the connection.
No, it's no problem. Nice to meet you. It's been a pleasure talking to you again.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Well, I'll ask this last question. Let me go ahead and pull it up real quick.
Okay.
Let's see. I mean, probably this question's already been answered, but, like, for the people that's tuning in, and they probably wondering, well, what is Misunderstood doing? Why she's here on Knowledge and Relationships? My question is basically, when you received our invitation to join our panel as a special guest, what was like your first thought in mind about us, and why you decided to give Knowledge and Relationship a chance?
I was honored. I was honored. I thought it. I'm like, wow, you guys asked me to come over. I would love to. That was my thought.
Appreciate it.
And I
And
must tell you guys, I do not
thanks.
do interviews, okay? But
Mhm.
I am in the clouds and I will check out a channel. Doesn't mean not to ask me. Just
Yeah.
normally I'll come over for a chat or something like that. But with Knowledge and Relationships, I would be in the clouds, and the way he runs his panel, it's like I only want to help. It's like, and the fact that I get to tell my story is a plus. I'll tell my story to anybody. I don't care who y'all got in the chat. So that was a plus. But the first thing is just how you run your show. Your chat's very welcoming, very friendly, and of course I would do an interview over here, and you've been so supportive over me. So I just really was thinking like, wow, I hope that I do it justice is all I thought.
No, just you being here was justice that was served, and I appreciate it. And and I don't know if you remember this, but I remember when I first because I remember when I came up to your platform, I was like, hey, um, like, can we do an interview with you? And I remember you saying that you don't like interviews, but I remember you put me on the spot, and then you interviewed me like point blank. You was like,
I
well,
did.
so you was like, so M3, right? I would never.
I don't even think you remembered that. And that was honestly, I did think about that as well when you asked me. I was like, I can't really say no because I did it.
Wow.
Yeah, I did. And you were such a trooper because it could have been.
Yeah. Your chat man was funny. It was like, oh, this guy's handsome. Is he married? What's his wife?
Oh my
You
god!
asking so many
You
questions.
have got to come over and do a knowledge and relationship chat with us.
I would love to, and I'm for sure Mr. Best will be down for that as well too. Like, just hit us up with the invitation, and we'll definitely see what we could do.
Yeah, after the holidays, and I would like my chat's a little bit more reserved, but I would love for like I said, to come over and simulcast with you and just chat with you because I do want to see you grow. I know people I can introduce you to that could help you out, and I don't mean that. You know me, I'm pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I would love to connect you with because they were supporters behind the scenes, but they don't do drama and they have good panels. And I think that even if it's not quite the same as relationship type stuff, it's still a conversation, that I think you could benefit from, and they could benefit from you because they're just a good group. So I would love to actually. You're on the right track, and I'm not saying that you're doing anything wrong, but I'm just saying, a good, healthy collaboration and kind of introduce you to some people would be really cool.
No, I definitely appreciate that as well too, and likewise too. Even with with the whole relationships, like podcasts, we also have like our knowledge aspect as well too. So you sharing us about your sobriety journey or whatever, I mean, it fits into both, where it be like dealing with certain relationships, connecting with people, or just passing down the knowledge and the wisdom that you have for the people who are watching so they can learn from it and overcome their addictions as well too. Because it don't always have to be about alcohol or marijuana or the such, but you could be addicted to food.
YouTube. YouTube addiction. That would be an awesome conversation. But I really, it just means a lot that you allowed me to share my story. And for those that are struggling, I'm telling you, just don't pick it up, and it gets better one day at a time. And then find that support. You're gonna need some support, and you got this. You got this. I'm definitely willing to help support in any way that I can if you guys, ever need. But I just really thank you guys for hearing my story, because sometimes people think, oh, addiction, they don't like touching it, but it's affecting a lot of people and all communities and stuff like that. So it really is an important subject. So shout out to you for asking me. I appreciate that.
All right, anytime. And if you ever like when we ever have like our live streams and we're just chilling talking and you're up, feel free to share about more about like your stories if you wish. If you're comfortable sharing it, feel free to. Like we're always open ears on that one. So
I would love to do that. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you, Von Eric. Thank you for coming up. We appreciate you. And yeah, we're gonna get ready to close out. Misunderstood. If you want to stick around just for a little bit longer, if you have any questions about the IG thing, I could kind of help you out. But if you have to go, no
I'm gonna run
worries.
to Los Angeles, but I want to say thank you to your chat. Thank you guys. Thank you for my chat in the clouds. Terry, I see you. Mr. That misunderstood in chat. I see you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you. Keep doing what you do. You have an amazing channel. You have an amazing group. So anything else you do from here is just extra. You're just gonna keep getting better and better and better. But what you're doing right now is great. Don't change that. Just keep building, and you got this. That's what I want to say. But thank you so much for having me over, Terry. Love you, and I will. Von Eric, great talking to you again, and I will see y'all soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, see you guys. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna play the outro, man, and we are going to end this. All right, Von Eric, thank you for coming up, man. Great questions. I'll see you again soon.
All right, my brother. Peace out.
All right, later. Everybody, thank you for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships. This was a fun live stream with Misunderstood. Again, shout out to Von Eric for coming up. Shout out to everybody in the chat for giving your energy, asking good questions, fun questions, and look, stay tuned for more of these topics real soon. So again, thank you so much. And we are out. Shout out to everybody on the Instagram side who are watching. Salutes to Roberto as well. Thank you, everybody. We are out. Peace.
Knowledge and relationships.